In building up your balance sheet so that you can achieve true financial freedom, there are two big expenses that you cannot avoid, whether you're rich or whether you're poor or whether you're middle class. First one, most important probably, taxes. But there's another one that is so important that you need to learn how to master. That is your credit. Your credit determines your access to credit, and also, if you do get credit, how much you're going to pay for it. So if you can learn to pay as little as legally possible towards your taxes and pay as low as possible interest rates, you are well on your way to achieving financial freedom. In this video, I'm going to go about teaching you how all of the credit bureaus go about calculating your credit score. So my name is Nyiko, and I've been a financial planner for about 8 years now. I've learned a lot about personal finance. This channel is all about helping you to deploy, not just employ your money, so that you can achieve financial freedom at an age where you can still enjoy it. To achieve this goal, you would need to improve your financial literacy. If this is the type of content that you'd like to watch, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video comes out. All right, let's get into it. So this is how they calculate your credit score. Hi, my name is Nyiko. Welcome to my channel. One of the most crucial steps towards achieving your financial freedom is paying off bad debt so that you can free up more disposable income to use towards achieving your financial freedom. More importantly, paying off bad debt is important because it frees up your credit so that you can use it to build up your balance sheet using leverage. If you don't understand the concept that I just spoke about, be sure to check out my video, Your Mortgage is a Poverty Trap. Your credit score is the lifeblood of all of your efforts towards achieving financial freedom. It determines how profitable your investment pursuits are and ultimately at which rate you will grow your income base. The best way to be poised towards achieving wealth quickly is to have a good credit score so that lenders actually want to give you money. If this is the case, they're obviously going to want to sweeten the deal for you by giving you the lowest interest rates. This is all very good and well, but it's very hard to know what affects your credit score positively and negatively if you don't know how your credit score is calculated. Okay, let's get into it. Credit score factors. There are approximately 30 factors that are used to determine your credit score. I'm going to give you a high-level view of each one and then let you know what each agency looks out for when they go about assessing your credit behavior. I'm going to begin my assessment by looking at the factors that carry the heaviest weighting. But if you want to achieve an excellent credit score, it is important that you are aware of every single item and you try your level best to score highly in every category. All right, first up, we've got payment history coming in at a whopping 35%. As you may imagine, payment history has the largest influence on your credit scoring. This is the best way that a stranger can get a sense of how you interact with your lenders or credit providers after you have been granted debt or a credit facility. From a risk perspective, this is a possible glimpse into the future. This is where lenders look at your past to determine what you may do in the future should they grant you financing or a credit facility. The consumer credit reporting agencies look at the following. Firstly, the type of accounts that you have. These agencies like to see that not only do you have multiple accounts, but multiple types of accounts. Firstly, this paints a picture of a much more rounded, stable individual. Secondly, it also paints a picture of multiple lenders or credit providers from their different areas and angles of risk assessment, granting you credit successfully. For instance, it would bode well for you if you had a mixture of secured debt, unsecured debt, short-term debt, medium-term debt, and long-term debt. This they would look upon more favorably than if, for example, you had 6 credit cards and nothing else. It goes without saying, obviously, that they would want to have a deep look at how you maintain your credit card payments. They would also, for instance, want to have a look at whether you only make the minimum required payment or if you try to pay extra when you can. Our third category is mortgage and installment loans. This type of debt is looked at through a slightly different lens, as it tends to be medium and long-term debt. Also, a lot of this type of debt is secured, which means there is an actual asset to back the loan, such as a mortgage or a hire purchase agreement for a car. Our fourth subcategory is comments on late or missed payments. The consumer credit bureaus, if we're being honest, are generally quite unsympathetic towards real life situations. This being said, there is allowance for comments to be made. This being said, should you find yourself getting your salary paid late by your employer, getting retrenched or otherwise unemployed, there is room on your credit report for comments about payments that you've missed as a result of such circumstances. It should be said that while a little bit of leniency may be afforded to you, that it is very hard to still protect your credit score in such situations. My best advice would be to use your credit in a way that does not depend on your job. Our fifth subcategory is collection and public record items. If your accounts reach a stage where a third party needs to be involved to determine exactly how you will go about settling your debt, this will be reflected in this portion of your credit report. I think it goes without saying that this will affect your credit score negatively. Our second category is outstanding debt. And the first thing that they look at over here is the amount that you owe across various types of accounts. Under this parameter, the credit bureaus look at your total exposure to debt. In this parameter, what they're trying to determine in general is, do you have a healthy appetite for debt? The second item that they're going to look at is how close you are to each credit limit. Once again, a similar concept was used over here, only this time they isolate your individual accounts. Say for instance, you've got 4 credit facilities, a mortgage, a hire purchase agreement on your car, as well as 2 credit cards. But on these 2 credit cards, you've actually maxed out your credit limit. Even though you've been making payments faithfully towards your long-term debt, these 2 maxed out credit cards will be flagged under this category of your credit scoring. The best way to use your credit card is to keep your usage below 30%. Say you have 3 credit cards, each with a limit of $1,000. Let's say you want to make a purchase of $900. If you were to put this entire purchase onto one credit card, you would be flying awfully close to your credit limit. If you were to, say, spread the same purchase across 3 credit cards, each with a credit limit of $1,000 per card, your utilization on each card would now be 30%. And although you've incurred the same amount of debt, this is viewed in a totally different way. The third item that they look at under this category is how many accounts have balances. This parameter, once again, is also just trying to get a picture of how comfortable are you with perpetually being in debt. From a risk perspective, like we spoke about earlier on, if you have all these balances that you owe on all these various accounts, what then happens if you were to get retrenched, if you were to lose your job, if you were to lose your ability to work? Basically, the picture that you need to paint for your creditors is that you use debt to achieve a particular end, and once you've achieved this end, you pay down the debt and possibly close off the facility. The converse of this is the creditors seeing that you having credit facilities means that you will create reasons to perpetually be in debt. The next category is credit history, and this comprises 15% of your credit scoring. The first item is, how long have you had active credit activity? Needless to say, the longer your credit history, the better a picture the credit bureaus have of you and your behavior. To them, this means that whatever information they can glean from your credit record is most likely an accurate and reliable one. A shorter credit history could potentially make a lender a bit nervous because they don't know how you would behave if your circumstances were to change. The second item over here is the durability of your accounts. This parameter looks at exactly how long you keep your credit arrangements going. Just like nobody trusts a person who's got a long history of endless breakups, lenders also don't trust a person who serially opens and closes credit facilities. This shows a lack of stability and dependability. For this reason, it is always a good idea to keep accounts active even if you have paid them down. In other words, pay down, not close off. The third item that they look for over here is the frequency of use of each account. A weird balance is required from you under this parameter. The theme over here is constant. If they get the sense that you are financing or using credit to pay for things that you could otherwise have bought free and clear upfront, this will not bode well for your credit scoring. As mentioned before, the credit bureaus do not like to work with a lack of data. Oftentimes, when there is a lack of data, they will err on the side of caution and treat you as being more risky. Therefore, it's probably a good idea to have various accounts that encompass your lifestyle, your life as you would have lived it outside of credit. In this way, even when you go about living your day-to-day life in the way that you would have even if you did not have all of these credit facilities, you can now involve the credit bureaus, and this can improve your credit score. The second last category is types of credit in use, and this counts for 10% of your overall weighting. The first subcategory is number of diverse lines of credit. Over here, this is just a high-level view looking at how many types of credit do you have. The more diverse, the better. The second subcategory over here is the types of each credit. So let's go back to our previous example and say, for instance, that you have a mortgage, a hire purchase agreement on a car, and 2 credit cards. Let's now add maybe two more retail cards. A situation whereby, yes, you are paying for your car, and yes, you are paying your mortgage, but you've got 4 maxed out credit facilities. This paints a picture to the bureaus that you're maintaining your mortgage payments and you're maintaining your car payments, but you are subsidizing your lifestyle using credit cards and retail accounts. Obviously, this doesn't paint a very pretty picture. The last category is applications for new credit, and this weighs in at 10%. As you have gathered by now, lenders and the credit bureaus like to see a picture that you take being in debt very, very seriously. In order to be sure that you are not negatively affected by this category of your credit scoring, you need to think very carefully about taking on new debt and even inquiring about new debt. Also, applications for insurance may also show up as hard inquiries on your credit report, so you need to be very careful about your timing and how frequently you perform this exercise. So what is the conclusion of this whole deep dive into how your credit score is calculated? Firstly, have a look at your current total exposure to debt. Take a look at how you have been servicing your individual lines of credit. Check to see if you have too many of a certain type of debt. Also, make sure that you take breaks in between adding new credit facilities to your debt portfolio. Your credit is usually important to your financial portfolio and thus should be to your financial planning. Drop a budget, start to save, pay off all of your bad debt. Do whatever you can to improve your credit score. Your credit rating is your bridge to your wealth. Do you want to know how to use your credit to build wealth? Make sure you check out my video called Your Mortgage is a Poverty Trap. More importantly, were you able to identify any areas that you could be able to improve so that you can boost your credit score? If so, please let me know in the comments. If you would like to learn more about credit in particular, please be sure to watch my video, How to Improve Your Credit Score Now, Fast, the Bootcamp edition. Or if you would like to know what doors your credit score can open for you in particular, please watch my video, This is what your credit score can get you. If you have made it till this far, thank you for watching my video. If you found this video to be helpful, please don't forget to smash that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video comes out. Goodbye and cheers. So I've been running my financial planning practice for about 8 years now. So I've been thoroughly exposed to all the methods that work and all the methods that don't work. And as an extension of this YouTube channel, I've also now started to consult one-on-one, helping you with wealth coaching. We talk everything from credit, how to speak to your banks, buying cars, property investment, everything you need to know so that you can achieve financial freedom successfully. If you want to get in touch and schedule a consultation, contact me via the email provided in the description.